Mr. Davidson, we will not detain you long, sir. In that first instance that you described, when you made your escape attempt, you say you heard Captain Wirt's curse urging on those dogs that were tearing your companion.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, Mr. Davidson, at any time in your career as a soldier, did you ever yell, "Get those rebel bastards"?
I guess so.
And what was it that Captain Wirt yelled?
Get those Yankee. But that was different.
How different?
He meant for those dogs to tear that man, and I saw them do that.
You were close enough to see that?
Yes, sir.
Well, how close would you say?
10, 15 feet away maybe. No more than from here to there.
And how was it, Mr. Davidson, that those dogs did not tear you? How do you account for that? Can you think of any reason, Mr. Davidson?
I wouldn't know why, sir.
Now, since you admit those dogs did not tear you, shall I understand that you were completely unhurt when you were brought back to the camp?
No, sir.
You were bruised some as a result of rushing pell-mell through the swamps, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
Bloodied a bit, too?
Some. From all that running and stumbling against the rocks.
Yes, and from bramble bushes and whipping branches and dead cypress limbs, some of them as pointed as knives. It would bruise and bloody any man trying to beat a pursuit through a Georgia swamp, wouldn't it?
I guess so.
So in that second instance you described, when you saw a man brought back to the stockade, couldn't those marks on him that you say were caused by the dogs, couldn't they have been a result of his rushing headlong through the swamps as yours were?
That man was torn by dogs.
Well, now, you didn't see him torn by dogs now, did you, Mr. Davidson?
It was commonly known that...
Many things are commonly known, sir. Can you say for certain that these marks on this man were indisputably caused by dogs?
He was bit by the dogs and he died.
Possible. How long did you remain at that spot after this man? You don't happen to know his name, do you?
No, sir.
How long did you remain there after that man fell down?
3, 5 minutes.
And did you have occasion to look that way later?
Sometime later, yes.
And was he still lying there?
No, sir. Taken off to the dead house.
Or to the sick ward? Mr. Davidson, you can't say this man died as a result of being mutilated by dogs, and you can't identify him. Is that correct?
Sir, please, I got to go home.
And Captain Wirtz, riding around that man without saying a word, that sounds mighty unfeeling. You wouldn't know whether he notified the guard at the gate to have that man moved, would you?
I got to go back home.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. That will be all.
Mr. Davidson, didn't Captain Wirtz openly show his contempt and hatred for men torn and killed by dogs?
I don't know.
You don't know? Was Wirtz coldly sitting his horse indifferent to that man brought back to die?
I can't say for sure how he felt.
But those were the marks of teeth and claws you identified on that man at one time, were they not?
I guess so.
She guessed so. You were quite certain at one time. You even said that he died, that the flies set on his face and he made no move to brush them off.
I don't remember.
And Wirtz looking on that dying man. All I am asking you is to repeat what you have already said under oath, that his attitude was monstrously indifferent and cold to those dying men.
Let me be, Colonel.
Mr. Davidson, I must warn you.
I got to forget that place.
Or has it been suggested to you that you forget that place?
Colonel Shipman, I think this witness is through. Are you now ill, Mr. Davidson?
Yes, sir. I got pains.
You've now told us all that you can recall about that incident, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, lad?
19, sir.
I believe you said you fought with the 2nd Vermont Cavalry.
Yes, sir. The 2nd Vermont Cavalry. We turned their flank many times.
You may go home now, lad. and this court wishes you Godspeed in recovering your good health and in forgetting all that you have endured in war and in prison.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Could be. Those dogs didn't tear me for the same reason Daniel was not torn the lions then. There was many died in that place. Many died. I hear those dogs baying at night. I hear voices crying out, help, help, and no one to help. Many died. Many died.
I apologize to the witness.
Yes, sir.
Weather continues hot